Hello, welcome back to the Buried Rap Podcast. Today is the K-pop episode, so we're diving headfirst into cringe once again. I actually have a script this time. Well, not a script, but like very, very detailed notes. Way more so than I had last time, and I'm gonna see if I like this structure more, if I liked it. When it was more free-flowing, because this is a lot closer to... We getting into video essay territory? Not quite, but, we're getting there. I just don't have a thesis. I'm just talking. So, that's where we are. So, K-pop, or Korean pop music, as its name suggests, is popular music that originates from Korea. The term can describe music that branches into various genres like rock, rap, and classical on top of its... And I quote this from Wikipedia, traditional Korean roots, which I'm not 100% sure what that means, but I'm like, oh, okay, sure. The term was popularized in the early 2000s in an international context, while the term Kayo is used for domestic Korean pop music, while K-pop usually refers to the large entertainment companies who almost export the music in a way. And also to the idol industry, which is what we're talking about next, is the idol industry, which is absolutely horrible. I'm just gonna be blunt, it is terrible what those idols have to go through. So they go into what are literally called slave contracts, where they can do anything from controlling their food intake to... I don't think they're allowed to make them have surgery, but they definitely heavily suggest it. And a lot of them get these cosmetic surgeries, but it's mostly facial, because Korea has this thing called lookism, which is basically just the most minute detail, your eyes, your nose, your lips and face. But it's really common to get surgery to change those things, which I think is interesting. A lot of people get it for their birthday as a birthday present, as they'll get surgery, which I think is crazy, cosmetic surgery. They're not allowed to make any comments that are controversial, things of that nature. And they restrict phone access and contact access of who they're allowed to have relationships with and who they can talk to, those types of things. Hwasa, and her government name is An Hye-jin. She was part of Mamamoo, but made a solo career for herself in 2019. She's someone who has undergone this bad part of the idol industry, which I think is really interesting to see. She had an interview where she was talking about how much weight they made her lose. And if you want to skip this part, you can skip this part. I think some people probably should. If you have any eating issues, this might not be the section for you. But she weighed 60 kilograms, which is 132 pounds, and she went down to 49 kilograms when they wanted her to be 48. So keep in mind, 49 kilograms is 108 pounds. She went down from 132 to 108 pounds. And they said she was still too big. And I think that's actually crazy, especially that's about a 2-pound difference. But a lot of media attention has been on her because she's larger than some of the people who were in her group, and larger than a lot of K-pop women in general, because they want them to be stick thin. And they measure wrist sizes, and every single limb is very, very calculatedly checked on. So yeah, anyway, that section's over. We're gonna move on into happier things, but you do have to kind of keep in mind this idol industry is sort of the background behind all of this, is that they don't treat a lot of them right. So BTS, which is my favorite, stands for 방탄소년단, which is Bulletproof Boy Scouts in English. They were under Big Hit, and now they're under Hybe, which I think is the same thing, but it ate another company, ? Something like that. Anyway, they were originally meant to be a hip-hop group with the 3 rappers, which is J-Hope, RM, or he used to be Rap Monster at the time, as an underground artist, and Suga as well. So it was meant to be those 3, and the company wanted to give them a lot more creative freedom than other groups had, because a lot of groups are sort of a monolith of just, here's a bunch of girls and they're all dancing. You couldn't tell any of them apart. BTS was really focused on kind of that individuality aspect of it, of each of the members is important and they all have something to bring to the table. And they're all different in their own, like, unique ways. But yeah, it started with their debut in 2013 of Too Cool for School, which is as cringe as it sounds, to be honest. Like, looking back on it, it's still good music. I, like, love it. But, like, if you just watch the music videos, I'm like, this is cringe and insane. The Youth Trilogy, which includes the songs, or the album's Most Beautiful Moments in Life, Part 1 and 2, or The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, Parts 1 and 2, as well as The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, Youth Forever. And those were about, like, youth and how being young is supposed to be, like, one of the most beautiful points in your life, and even though it comes with struggle, and there were songs about struggle, like Pipse or Silver Spoon in English, it was kind of about that, so things like that. They get a lot, again, like I said, a lot of creative freedom. The songs aren't, or at least they weren't, just like, let's dance in the sun and be happy. Like, they're like, let's talk about these issues and, like, actually say something. So I think that's cool. And then there was Wings, Love Yourself, Her, Face Yourself, which was in Japanese, which is the thing a lot of groups do, is that they'll make songs in Japanese, or they add a lot of English words. Sometimes they'll do it in Chinese as well, or they'll have Chinese translations, or a rap in the middle or something. Like, they incorporate a lot of different languages to help market to those countries, and to people who speak those languages. I think I said, yeah, Wings, Love Yourself, Her, Face Yourself, Japanese, yeah. And Love Yourself, Answer. I don't think I said that. Map of the Soul, there was Persona and Map of the Soul 7, which is kind of where I started falling off, I think. I think Love Yourself Tear came out while I was at, like, one of my highest points of fandom, to be honest. And same with Love Yourself Answer. But, like, after Map of the Soul 7, I was like, okay, I'm kind of out. Like, I sort of grew out of it because I wasn't as young anymore, I feel. But, like, I still loved them at the end of the day, you know? But now they're making songs like Butter and Dynamite, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna listen to this. I'm so sorry. Why are we making songs in English, and why don't they mean anything? Like, I get, like, you know, everyone had to go through a hard time through, like, 2020 and everything, but, like, what do you mean, like, permission to dance? What do you mean, like, we're just gonna sing butter, smooth like butter? Like, I don't know, it just sounds like I'm at a mall, and I don't want to be at a mall all the time. It sounds too clean and squeaky, and it's so weird. I don't know. Anyway, now I'm gonna talk about some individual groups, and I'm gonna kind of rapid fire these a little bit. There's ITZY, Mamamoo, A-Pink, Blackpink, which they all have, like, well, do they all? At least some of them have solo projects now. There's Momoland, Twice, Dreamcatcher, FX, which is, like, you know, F of X, and, what is that, math? You know, math. And one of them had a project, her name's Amber, and she did Shake That Brass, a very good song I would recommend. And then there's Les Seraphim, of the girl groups. And Les Seraphim spells like I'm fearless or something, but they scrambled the letters, and I just, like, I don't understand. I feel like they could have just named it I'm Fearless, or they could have just called the group Fearless or something. I don't know. Anyway, on to boy groups, and just actually a solo boy. We have Psy. If you remember Gangnam Style or Gangnam Style, W. That was such an era, to be honest. That was such an era we went through as a society. But that was kind of an introduction to K-pop for a lot of people. But like when I went back to it, I was like, that was K-pop? Like it didn't feel like it to me. I don't know. Anyway, there's EXO, another boy group, 17, Pentagon, NCT 127, as well as the other NCTs, which is like NCT Dream, NCT... There's another one, I swear. I don't remember what it's called. There's like 7 of them or something, I think, because it's like a weird auxiliary... Like, each group is an auxiliary group of itself, I think. Something like that. It's cool, though. I don't know. Someone explained it to me and I forgot. There's 101, GOT7, Big Bang, Stray Kids, and TXT. There's also a mixed group, Triple H, which was Hyuna, Hui, and Edon. And Hui and Edon were from Pentagon. Edon and Hyuna actually ended up dating each other and terminating their contracts with Cube, which is why Pentagon doesn't have all its members anymore. And I don't know if they still make music right now, to be honest. It's been a while since I caught up. But, like, I literally got into Pentagon as Edon left. I was like, oh, this is my bye. Oh, and then he just kind of went. So, and that's going to be... The next part, actually, is I'm going to describe fun vocab from K-pop. Because I think it has its own, like, jargon at this point. Like, there's so many terms that a lot of K-pop fans just throw around that I think no one else understands. So I'm going to talk about some of them. First of them being bias, like I just said, which is your favorite member. So for BTS, mine literally just cycled through the rap line. I'm not even going to lie. I think I started with RM because he could speak English and I could understand him. And then I moved to J-Hope because Hope World came out. That is such a good, like, solo project album. Oh my god, I love Hope World. And then... Yeah, now it's Suga. I loved the Augusti album. It might be back to J-Hope now, low-key. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's a bias. There's Aikyo, which is, like... It's like the concept of kawaii in Japan, like that cute little, like, sweet type thing, except it's, like, with people, so things will be Aikyo if it's, like, cute, whatever. There's the maknae, which is the youngest member of a group. There's a bunch of, like, just random Korean terms that people learn and throw around because of K-pop, like Hyun and Nuna. What else? I'm trying to think of, like, all the... It's kind of like how you'll hear, like, a weeaboo be like, oh, senpai, kawaii, blah, blah, blah. It's exactly the same, just it's in Korean. I don't know. There's fan chants, like, with BTS. I, again, was obsessed with them as a kid. Like, actually obsessed. And I learned probably too much information about them. I was, like, a walking Wikipedia for a little while. Or a walking BTS encyclopedia. But yeah, there's fan chants, and one of their fan chants is literally just their names. Kim Namjoon, Kim Seokjin, Min Yoongi, Jung Hoseok, Park Jimin, Kim Taehyung, Jung Jungkook, BTS. And that's, if there's a song where there's like a 2-measure gap, then people sing that, like, in the audience, and it's like a thing to know. That they have, like, call and responses. There's hand hearts where you, like, put your fingers, your thumb and your pointer finger over each other and it makes a little heart. They do dance practices and a lot of people watch those dance practices, and same with music videos. People look in those music videos for clues and things. There's light sticks at, events and everything. Sorry, I'm running out of time. I wanted to fit it all in. But yeah, that's basically what K-pop is. I love K-pop. At least I did. I'm still kind of in a weird place with it now where I just don't listen as much, and I think the industry is weird, but yeah. Anyway, if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you listen to the next episode. Anyway, bye-bye.